Everyone. Woo! Welcome to Living and Learning. I'm Allison Kinnear with Voice of Her Own. Today we are talking about drift happens. Drift happens, folks. And life is drifting right now. I wanted to talk to you because we are in, what, month 7 of this whole situation when our lives changed. And I found myself drifting. Just, and what I mean by that is drifting away from the things that helped me feel mentally, physically, and emotionally well to things that I told myself were self-care things, but actually just perpetuated feeling like crap. Anybody else there with me? Hey, Emma. Good morning from Australia. Good to see you. Well, you're seeing me. I'm not seeing you, but yes, glad you're here. And maybe you're not drifting as much in Australia as we are over here in the States, but I feel like there's the stress of just life that happens. I don't know if y'all can see. Do you see like I'm packing? So like this is happening in my life. I've got like papers and stuff I'm going to cover up with my body. And then there's COVID stress that's happening. And then there's the election coming up here in the States. So that is just the soup that I believe we're all kind of cooking in. And for me, I get overwhelmed really easily. Like, I don't know if it's that get overwhelmed easily, but when I get overwhelmed, I tend to shut down. And when I shut down, I tend to engage in numbing behaviors. And by numbing behaviors, what I mean is like ice cream is a big part of it. Not like an every now and then, but like more like a regular occurrence. I tend to get super snacky and like I'm not like craving salads or anything like that. Like I'm actually craving really junky food. I tend to sleep in and do a lot more sleeping because I'm tired and not feeling, my best. And I tend to distract myself with my phone a lot. So those are my major numbing behaviors that I tend to engage in. And I found myself getting overwhelmed with the move, overwhelmed with voting, overwhelmed with all the things that are happening, and so my numbing behaviors just were on the rise. And it's one of those things where I kept trying to talk myself out of it. I kept, I'm like, I'm a coach. I help people with this. Like it would be so funny. I would be talking to my clients about themselves drifting and I would help them get back on track. And then I'd meet with them the next week and they'd be like, wow, I'm feeling so much better because I started doing the things that help me again. And meanwhile, I can't coach myself out of this, right? Like I'm still stuck in my numbing behaviors. And so I say this to you, if any of you are my clients, to know that yes, I get stuck in my overwhelm and in my numbing behaviors. Like we all do this. The reason why I'm probably a good coach around all of this is because I've had to pull myself out of it numerous times. But also that like this is all normal, as our stress and anxiety comes up, like this is just something that happens. And so what I found though was like the more overwhelmed I got, the more numbing I did, which then kept me from taking action on things, which then increased the overwhelm, which then increased the numbing. So like it was just in this spiral of like the no good, very bad day. And so I realized like number one, I can't coach myself out of this. Like I need something more than me. I need somebody outside of me. And all good coaches, you have to hold yourself accountable to this. Like we sometimes don't always seek out coaching because we might feel like, well, I'm a pretty decent coach. Why do I need coaching? It's like we all need it. And so I reached out to a colleague of mine who I totally trust. And I'm telling you, it's like that one session that we've had so far was exactly what I needed. And one of the things she said to me was, it sounds like you sometimes will default into a passive approach to life as opposed to an active when you get overwhelmed. And I was like, that is exactly it. Like, I'm really good at being go with the flow and passive, but I need to be more active and more in my doership, because that actually helps decrease the overwhelm and the anxiety. And so, one of the things that I've been doing that I started at the beginning of the pandemic, and I did it for several months and I felt great. You know how you do something and you do it for a while and you're like, wow, I feel great. And then you kind of go, well, I feel great. I can let it go a little bit. And then that's when the drift happens, right? So, that's exactly what I did. And what I was doing was waking up at 6 a.m. every morning. I would wake up actually 5:45 a.m. and I would show up for a 6 a.m. meditation Zoom. So I have a community that I show up to, and that little bit of accountability helps me. And then I'm able to do work in the morning and able to kind of like just have me time, and it's really lovely. I never was a morning person before, but that having that one conversation and saying, I want you to help me hold myself accountable to this and not let myself down and like get me back on track. And so I've been doing it for a week now, and it's been a total game changer. So, like, what do we do when we start to drift? We identify the things that help us feel our best self. For me, it happens to be waking up early. For you, it could be something else. It could be what you eat. It could be an activity that you do, something that if you remember a time when you felt really energized and focused and like in the flow of your life, what were the activities that you were doing that helped you get there? So one is identifying that. For me, I totally was aware of my numbing. That would be the second thing. Like, be aware of your numbing habits, right? Like, you don't have to put yourself down for them. You don't have to try to change them, but just be aware of them. So I will tell you, I was aware of my numbing while it was happening. And I was aware of the thing that would help me be in a better place mentally, emotionally, physically. And I was still like, I don't wanna. Like, do you ever get that? Like, I don't wanna. And that's when I realized I needed somebody. I needed somebody to help me get out of that. And not just like a one-time conversation, but like I need someone like to help me work through this process. And so whether that is a friend that you have an accountability buddy with, or it's just somebody to help you process, whether it's a coach or a therapist or a close friend or whatever it is, sometimes we need people to help us get there. And especially during this time when we're all a little more isolated, or we're only communicating with each other through phone or technology, it can be really easy to let some of that stuff go and to continue to drift off. But I just encourage you to do the reaching out, because we can try to fix things ourselves, but it's really different experience when we have somebody else holding us and holding that mirror up to us to help us get to exactly where we want to be. So pay attention to your numbing behaviors, just notice it. Identify the things that help you get to where you want to be, and then reach out to someone to help you keep yourself from drifting. Oh, Lorraine, I love this. I'm at the don't want to stage right now. Oh my gosh. It's so frustrating because it's like, I know part of us wants to, but another part of us is just like, I don't want to. I call that like my inner rebellious teenager. You know, it's just like, no, I don't want to. Like kind of middle schooler sass, you know, like, don't tell me what to do. So, it's it can be great to indulge that, and at the same time there's it's helpful to process with somebody why that's there, and to help go around it. And yes, Richard, every coach needs a coach. Yes, even Richard, who started Seattle Life Coach training, he sees a coach on occasion. I see a coach, right? Like, no one is immune. We all need each other. We need each other because together we're better. So if you need a coach, well, you can talk to me, or you can ask me for other people that you can talk to. And yes, and just to know, like, you're not alone. You are so not alone. And yes, I love it, Lorraine. I'm pretty sassy right now. Yes, I could get, I so love, I kind of love being in that sass, but I prefer being in that sass when I'm not doing myself a detrimental, like I'm not having a detrimental effect on my own self. Like direct that sass in other areas of life, right? Like instead of like completely undermining my efforts. So anyway, I will leave you with that. I wish you a full week of living and learning. If you're in your sass, just sometimes we just need to flip. It's like two magnets, right? Like that can oppose each other. And sometimes we just need to like flip it and then it all connects and makes sense. So I wish you luck and just flip it. Sometimes it's just one slight thing, one conversation, one change that can flip that sass and that I don't wanna into something beautiful. All right. I will, or sell your house. Oh my gosh. Yes, Richard. Love it. All right. Wishing you a full week. I will see you next week. Bye.